So we are in 2022 and I still haven't ranked any shitty stuff.
Boner alert.
No! God, please, no!
So today we're gonna be looking at something quite interesting that I call the most abysmal posters you've ever seen. And I actually did a lot of researches to find all of these beautiful posters. Of course, it would have been so easy to go back in the 60s, go back in the 50s and find the cringiest posters ever. So I tried not to do that. And I also wanted to choose movies that maybe most people would recognize, because otherwise it's not fun. Otherwise we're just shitting on little indie movies that nobody has seen, or like things like Sharknado parodies. And I mean, you know that movies that look like Sharknado will have shitty but fun posters. So no, today we're gonna be looking at posters of famous films. Sometimes it's alternative posters and we'll be wondering why the fuck did they make those? Sometimes it is the official poster and that somehow it got forgotten, and now we're gonna bring all those memories back. So let's start with the categories. The best category of the worst posters ever is How Dare You?
How dare you?
Of course, sometimes I'm gonna be judging the posters from a graphic designer point of view, because I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop since I was probably like 16, so it's been almost 10 years that I've been using Photoshop, and that's also why the second category is gonna be a graphic designer true nightmare. Here we'll be putting all the things that look incredibly cringy. The next one is gonna be sweaty balls, which is gonna go for our mediocre category.
The ball slapping. Oh.
And the last category is gonna be I'll allow it, meaning that these are gonna be the ugly posters that we allow to exist, that we don't want to trash as much. The first one that I can see here is the poster from Alone in the Dark, and there are a lot of different reasons why this doesn't work, and the biggest one is that you really don't understand what the fuck is going on, because they've layered like the x-ray of a human body with some weird fingers and teeth. It is just that kind of poster that is supposed to be like, this is weird. This is like a weird movie. I don't think it's that badly designed. It is just really confusing and not in a good way. So I'll put it into maybe sweaty balls, you know. I think it definitely should go there. So this is kind of controversial because I love Marvel. I love the Avengers. But Marvel has made a lot of really cringy and bad looking posters. And here, of course, we got the one from Avengers Age of Ultron. So many things happening, so many copy and paste thing. This poster here is literally screaming, please watch me, please watch me. I'm gonna be as good as the first Avengers, I swear. Should I put it into sweaty balls or should I put it into I'll allow it? I'll put it into sweaty balls. Next one here is for Alex Ryder. I used to love this film when I was like a teenager, and I put this poster here mostly because it's a classic early 2000 poster. You've got floating heads a bit of everywhere, you've got fire, you've got crazy like effects that you put on Photoshop as well, and of course the title is the same color of the fire itself, and you've got like a silhouette of people here walking towards the camera. This is an insane looking poster, and I'm pretty sure that when it comes to how to make this poster, this is like 100% a graphic designer true nightmare. If I was asked to make something like this, I would shoot myself in the head. This is one that I actually didn't know. I think this is one of the remakes of the Amityville horror films, and apparently they made the posters which was supposed to look like exactly like an Instagram post, and it was really bad, just because like maybe you can't see it here, but I will try to put it on screen. But basically everything is not perfectly aligned, and as you know, that is just bad graphic design. So even though it is a good looking poster, this is one of those where like people had the idea of something interesting, but at the end of the day, it just didn't work visually and it shouldn't even exist. So this poster here, some people might say like, why? Why are you judging this poster here? Besides Tom Hanks' face, there is nothing else going on in that film. And then there's the title Big. What is this film about? What is big? Why is Tom Hanks so happy about the fact that something is big?
Why? 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 Why?
You probably feel like the sexual tension going on. Of course, Big is a very innocent looking movie. It's a family movie. But I love the fact that they just created this poster here, and looking back on it, it's really cringy. It's really, really cringy. So I'll definitely put it into high tier sweaty balls, just because, like, how can you tell? How can you tell what the movie is about? It's just a headshot of Tom Hanks looking really creepy. Another Captain America Winter Soldier poster here, another Marvel poster, of course. This is so cringy. I didn't notice it back then. I noticed it because this had a series of like individual posters with all the different characters on them, but you can really see it here on the poster with all the main characters on them, and everyone is just striking the weirdest pose ever. I have no idea if this is how the photo shoot went or if this was done in Photoshop, but this is honestly like a really disgusting poster for an incredible film. This is one of the best Marvel film that has ever been made. It's a really, really good film, and it didn't deserve such a disgusting poster. This goes up there into...
I dare you! I double dare you, motherfuckers!
I put it as a joke because, like, very often when you have films starring like animals, dogs and stuff like that, especially when the animals are supposed to be talking or doing incredible weird shit, they're gonna go insane. Like, they're gonna be insane, the posters themselves. And this is for the movie Cats and Dogs 2. I don't remember the subtitle of this movie because it's a stupid thing, like The Revenge of Catty Galore or something like that.
Meow.
But why? This would be fun to edit. If I was like a graphic designer making this poster here, I would be like, this is fun. I think I'll allow this one. I'll allow it just because it's the concept of the film, you know, like at least you're showcasing exactly what the film is gonna be about, and it kind of looks fun, you know. The next one, I didn't know this film. When I discovered this poster, it was literally like listed in the worst posters ever made. It's called Cybermatt. I'm pretty sure that it goes along with this Cats and Dogs, but the thing is, it looks so incredibly cringy. In the early 2000s, they used to like flatten all the layers so that everyone looked like they were just printed on a poster. So this one here is December Days. I don't remember this film, but I chose it specifically because of this trend. This is a trend that is very common with posters, especially when you look at like those adaptations of like teen dramas and what's his name? Is it Nicholas Sparks, the guy who wrote The Notebook? Yeah.
From Nicholas Sparks, they were a young couple torn apart. Now they will discover if love can truly rewrite the past. Torn apart.
If you look at his adaptations, like all the adaptations of his films, they tend to have posters like this. Floating heads in the sky, of course, and then people being incredibly happy or sad right underneath. It's one or the other. You can't have both at the same time. This is Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is fucking insane. It's a really, really, really good film. And it goes on the line of Sharknado stuff and even Cats and Dogs stuff, where if the poster is not supposed to look stupid, then you're not gonna understand what the film is about. And there is this woman who's just literally exploding out of the water into the shark's mouth, and it's really, really weird. And I have to allow this one because I think it literally like represents perfectly what the film is gonna be about. So I decided to put Epic Movie here for a very specific reason, is that these are the most boring posters ever. Literally, when people have no fantasy, they just have a white background, which is not even, it's a photoshopped fake background. It's not like they actually put all the characters in front of a white paper, you know. No, they didn't do that, of course not. I think I will put it just in Graphic Designer 3 Nightmare, just because I think that there is a lot of selection involved when making these posters here. It must be so fucking annoying to do it, especially if you have a lot of characters here like Epic Movie, and then if you have to match all the different lightings, oh fuck, this would be like a nightmare to make. The Jurassic World 2, I think, poster. I put it here because this literally makes me want to throw up. This makes no sense. Every single time that I watch it, the poster itself, I mean, of course there are other ones, but this one in particular, they didn't have to make this one. This one gives him vertigo. Everything is squashed together. It gives you like, yeah, it gives you this impression of movement, but at the same time, the two main characters here, they're perfectly in focus, so it makes no sense. Why is everything blurry and they're perfectly in focus? You know, it's just this weird play of depth of field that just makes you go like, ugh. Another superhero film, of course, because they tend to have very cringy posters. This is fantastic. And you know why I'm saying fantastic? Because back then when it came out, the poster's design and the way that it was made was so influential, and the film at the end of the day was so incredibly bad that everyone decided to just call it fantastic. Everything has been layered. The people probably weren't in the same photo shoot at all. I put it into like a graphic designer true nightmare just because it is insulting that they still have to do shit like this. Like in 2015, I think that came out in 2015.
Moody, awkward, and really, really low energy.
And now I'm here.
So you are.
Once again, another poster that is in the worst list ever, the Frozen poster. Why? Because this doesn't reflect the film at all. This makes no sense. This puts Olaf in the center of the film, at the center of the poster itself, and everyone else, you don't even understand like how tall they are. You don't know what they look like. It's just a bunch of heads.
I am afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown.
I remember because of this poster here, I was like, I'm not gonna watch this film because it looks like a thing for toddlers. So this, you know that it's a bad poster. So I would put it into How Dare You, because like this poster here literally almost turned me off from watching Frozen, which is actually a good Disney princess movie at the end of the day. Wow. People hated this movie. They hated it so much. Mostly because like people were calling it like feminist bullshit, and at the end of the day, it's not even the problem. The problem is that it's a really, really bad movie, and you can see it with this poster here. Everything looks so incredibly fake on this poster. I was shocked to see that this is one of the main posters and that it looks so incredibly fake. It looks like a fan-made poster. It looks like a fan-made movie just by looking at this poster here. This movie here, Going Overboard with Adam Sandler, it's one of the films that I haven't seen when it comes to the Adam Sandler like filmography, and I've seen most of his previous films, like most of his early films in his career. That's what I meant. I don't know what I hate about this the most, whether the different colors, like the fact that he's really red and that the blue is like so incredibly like turquoise. It's so cringy. It looks like a poster that was supposed to come out like in the 80s or something like that. Well, I'm pretty sure that this is from the 90s. So I really don't like the symmetry with the shadows and stuff like that. I will put it once again into sweaty balls. Plus it is pretty sexist, and I don't like when posters are that sexist, you know? Home Alone 4. Who asked for it? No one. And here we've got a trend of, you know, when something has been used like at the beginning of a series, and then basically the posters have to look like that, otherwise no one is gonna be recognizing the Home Alone series. And this is it. Like the Home Alone things were always like a child screaming with the two evil people on the side and stuff like that. This poster here was a meme for a while. For a really, really long while.
And I will always love you.
Because it makes no sense. This is even worse than the Avengers Age of Ultron poster that we looked at before. This poster here was so incredibly parodied like back then, and people were like, this movie is either gonna be really, really cool or the most insane garbage ever. Like, it's insane that someone had to make this. This is 100% a graphic designer true nightmare, like without a doubt. I'm ashamed that this poster exists and it was actually part of the marketing campaign. So this is another weird trend when it comes to making posters. For Hot Tub Time Machine, when you've got like just, it's sexist of course, the whole like woman's wearing a really tight shirt with like unrated written on top of her boobs and stuff like that. I haven't seen the film yet when it comes to Hot Time Machine, but this came out just a couple of years ago. It's insane that like they kept going with that kind of trend. I just feel really sad for the graphic designer that had to make that, being like, do you know that we're like past the 2010s? We can't make posters like this anymore.
My girlfriend Hey, it's been 2 years, can we finally hold hands? Me, a God-fearing Christian man. Go to horny jail.
When I discovered this poster here, and when I looked at the face, that it's Robert Pattinson, and how weirdly hairbrushed it was as well, I was like, what is going on? I have no idea. I love the fact that it really looks like one of those indie films, like really cutesy indie films about like a young boy discovering how to make friends, I don't know, something like that. But it's cringy, really, really cringy. This is one thing that I never noticed when it comes to the Karate Kid. Why are these two characters so close to each other? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna like kiss? I find it really weird when like you have those posters, even when you have scenes where people are just incredibly close, up close to other people, and there is no sexual tension. They just behave as if it's a normal thing, you know? I don't think it's like a badly made poster. I just included it because I thought it was like a weird trend. Oh, fuck this shit. This is like dystopian young adult trend of posters looking very action-like and with those like kind of deep blues and grays. Fuck Insurgent. Honestly, fuck this. This is another one where you got like weird characters being copy and pasted at the background and then the main characters being in the foreground, and it's just really weird. I really don't like when they do this kind of stuff because you have no idea what the fuck is going on, like what the depth of field is. And I put King Arthur for a very specific reason here, and it's because, I don't know if you remember, but there was a huge controversy about the fact that in the poster, in the marketing material, they increased Keira Knightley's boobs by at least like 3, 4, even 5 centimeters, which is a huge change. But literally, I looked up like production pictures from that shoot and she's almost completely flat-chested. They really pushed it too far, but it's not the graphic designer's fault. I just feel really bad maybe for him because he was really forced to do that kind of stuff. I would put it into graphic designer True Nightmare low tier just because he went down in history and everybody remembers that poster literally just because of that reason. Wow, it looks like such a beautiful movie about two ghostly teenagers falling in love, or maybe are they gonna like sing to each other a song and then they die? Fuck this movie, I hate this trend. This is what I was saying before. Little Italy, another time, white backgrounds with weirdly hairbrushed, smiling people in the foreground.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Mamma mia!
And of course, I remember this marketing campaign because they really played on Italy.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
Italian flags everywhere, all the colors, you know, you had to know that this was like an Italian movie. And it's not even an Italian movie, that's the whole thing. Well, when I found out about this I didn't know. I had no idea when it comes to this film here. And basically it's the fact that it looks like a normal poster, right? It's Mamma Mia poster, she's smiling, kind of overexposed, but it's okay because it's supposed to be very dreamy. Look at her neck. Look at her fucking neck. What the fuck is going on? How did this happen? How? This is a monster. Like, they destroyed her. This is another film I've never seen, but when I found the poster I was just like, I had to include this because this is one of those movies where just like you watch the poster and you're like, I'm not gonna watch this, because if the poster is this bad, if no one put any effort into the poster, I don't even want to think what they did to the movie itself. This one is a legend. This is a legend. I never noticed this, and when I found out I was just like, I was laughing so fucking hard. Normal poster for Ready Player One, then look at his fucking leg. Look at his leg. Look at how it goes. It never ends. Who made this? I want names. I want to shake the hand of the graphic designer who made this nightmare. It's insane. Another blockbuster, another Robin Hood movie that nobody cares about. This is such a huge mess. I feel sad once again. This is one of those posters where I feel sad for the graphic designer that had to make this, because he probably took an entire day, probably even 2 days to make this, just because when you're making these kind of really complex looking posters, you kind of have to stop and take a look back like every once once in a while, because there are so many things going on and you have to make it look harmonious, even though you know that it's not, and that someone is forcing you to do it. I never noticed that this poster was weird until I started researching this video, but it is weird because it's just one line. It's just one weird line. It's just like, it goes from disembodied torso to boobs to, you know what I mean, to knees to feet. There is nothing else.
Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world.
This is one of those like fragmentation things that I really don't like. I would put it into how dare you, just because I think that this was someone being like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool to do it? It looks like this is gonna be a movie about like Hannibal Lecter cutting people up. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a movie about burlesque.
I'm gonna sell your meat. People pay me a lot of money for it.
I put snakes on a plane, but I know that I will have to put this into I'll allow it immediately without even putting any argument out, because it's snakes on a plane. What did you expect from a snakes on a plane movie? Like, honestly, like, this is the poster that you're gonna get. Another one here, stealth. Reminds me once again of Alex Ryder, you know, the one we talked about before. Flames everywhere. So many tiny details in this beautiful frame. Super babies, baby geniuses too. Okay. At the end of the day, what were you expecting with a movie code like that? This is the perfect poster for a shitty movie like that. I kind of see why some people would be like, this was so much fun to edit because it looks like shit. Here we've got Tarzan. I think this was the latest Tarzan remake thing that they did.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Bring me the puppies! And everyone is incredibly serious, incredibly serious. And then you've got this one gorilla here who's having like the time of his life, being like, I'm in the poster? You put me in the poster? Oh my god, whoa!
I don't remember giving her my name. She knows my name. She knows who we are.
No, it's because
we can't come here.
No.
We're too famous. I can't go here anymore.
No, it's literally because you gave her your fucking name.
No,
It's
because it happened. It happened at Starbucks too.
How did I allow this to happen? How did they allow this to happen? It's insane. Someone greenlit this. Someone looked at this poster and was just like, everything is good. Good to go. We can send it for our like $200 million marketing campaign, and no one is gonna notice that this is a really beautiful poster. This is one for a really recent movie called The Beach Bum, and I put it here mostly because, not only because it's a weird poster, of course, with a lot of floating heads and weird colors and stuff like that, but also because the movie is not like this at all. The current war, listen, this is one of those, when a graphic designer tells you, I've got a really cool idea for this poster, for this movie called The Current War, we're gonna put lights everywhere and like floating faces, and then it just looks like shit. It just looks like there are some like warts coming out of it in the shape of people's faces. It's just really bad looking. The Departed. I put this here just because I had a really hard time reading the title, The Departed, with this film here. And this is what I say when it comes to bad graphic design, especially if we're talking about fonts, especially if we're talking about like the title of the movie. You're creating a whole poster around the fact that you're writing the title of the movie twice. How dare you be so stupid, you know?
Oh, dude.
I put the Hostel Part 2 poster here because I don't remember this at all. It's like an extreme close-up of skin, and it is listed in one of the worst posters ever made. I think I will have to allow it because it is very representative of what the film is actually about. So it's definitely good marketing, even though, like, can you imagine if that was printed like in big format, like 80 by 100 or like even larger than that? Can you imagine if you saw that in the metro, like while you waiting for the metro? Wow, some people would probably throw up. Another Netflix beautiful poster for The Kissing Booth. I put it here because I haven't seen The Kissing Booth, of course. Pretty sure that it involves a kissing booth, right? There has to be a kissing booth if the film is called A Kissing Booth. And where is the fucking kissing booth in the Kissing Booth poster? Where is it?
Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Where is it? Where is it?
I'm here, Batman. You can kiss me now.
Why are they standing in front of a car and it looks like it's like LA or Miami? I don't know. Palm trees tend to grow a bit everywhere. They are in a really hot place anyways. This is just bad marketing. I wanted to see the kissing booth. The kissing booth has to be like the main character. So how dare you think that I'm stupid and that I don't know what a kissing booth looks like. It doesn't look like these three young people, and definitely not like a car.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop you fucking lying.
This is another one where the graphic designer was just like, oh, I got a really clever idea on how to make the perfect poster. I'm gonna be replacing certain things in the titles and in the actors' names with emojis. Wow, fuck this shit. I feel really sad for this. This film here, I've never seen it. I wouldn't want to see it because this is the worst type of Photoshop I've seen in my entire life. It looks like people are melting into each other, and it almost looks like their shadows are melting into each other, like they're fake shadows, of course, the ones that you put on Photoshop just by clicking on drop shadow as many times as possible. This is awful. This is awful. How dare you? Like, honestly, how dare you? Not above Amanda Seyfried's neck, it's impossible. That's a monstrosity that cannot be ignored, of course. Another cute Netflix movie, another shitty poster. I mean, this guy, is it Centimeo? His name is Centimeo, Nick Centimeo, something like that.
What's up everyone, I'm Noah Centineo, and to support my nonprofit, I want to take you out for the best date ever.
And we both will give you the greatest experience.
Dad, what are you doing?
I'm not doing this.
You doing what?
It doesn't even look happy to be on the poster, to be honest, and they just put like a lot of icons at the back. It's not well designed. It's not symmetrical. Let's put it next to the Amityville Horror, that kind of stuff, because they wanted to make it look young. They wanted to remind that kind of like social media vibe, mood and look, but it just looks really shit. Plus really bad color to choose for the poster as well. This is like a monstrosity. This is again in the list of the worst posters ever in the history of humanity. They pasted human eyes on him. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to know what this movie is about. I can't say that I will allow it. Okay, fair enough. I'll put it into high tier sweaty balls just because, like, what the fuck is going on? It's a Walt Disney movie as well. It's supposed to be cute. That's not cute.
Last night I turned into a dog. Then I turned back into being human. He can't ignore it.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Douglas.
Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that? Get everybody out of my...
I decided to put this one here just in case you'd want me to do a version of this video with like 60s, 70s and 80s as well posters, because they always looked incredibly insane and weird. Of course, when it comes to the vampire and the ballerina, the weirdest couple ever, I will allow it just because it's impossible to compare it to the other ones, you know. This is the shittiest movie ever with the shittiest poster ever as well. Turning Green. Never seen this film, definitely don't want to see it. This is something that I hate, you know. You can do it on books. I don't think you can do it like on posters where literally like the title and the tagline, they take a shit ton of place when it comes to the film itself, when it comes to the poster itself. And then the poster is just a close-up of her face and... Why? Ooh, this is as bad as the one I was talking about before. Virgin Territory? I've never seen it. Oh my god, the Photoshop level on this is so bad. Wow. And the final one, which combines two things that you've never managed that could combine. You've got the floating head aspect with shitty Marvel posters. They made an entire series of this with every single character floating heads with the silhouette of their older version or their future version, whatever. It looks so stupid. And I remember, like, I've seen some people being like, it's so funny that like his head is exactly where like Charles Xavier's cock would be. So everyone was just like, oh my god, he thinks with his penis. That's what it means. That's what the whole film is gonna be about.
Uh-oh.
But that was it. That was actually incredibly fast for ranking so many shitty things. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I always have so much fun doing this. And at the same time, I'm just like, why? You know? Why do these things exist? And why do I have to rank them? Am I giving them meaning just by ranking them? I really hope so. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every single like will be another shitty poster slowly being snapped away by Thanos. What? Oh, I actually really like that. I like that idea. I'm Patrick, and this is Torn Apart.
But this week, researchers in England let us hear what a real mummy sounds like. Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt. You're boring, you don't sound Nigerian at all, so go and fuck yourself.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.